Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Sorry if we're 2 minutes late here. We're trying to get set up. But welcome. You should be able to hear me. I should be able to hear you, hopefully. But if you're here, just let us know where you are joining from and what you enjoy eating the most that is a dessert. Okay, my favorite question in the world. Your name, where you're joining from, and your favorite dessert, just in the chat as we wait for people to get in. And then we are going to kick this off. Okay, I know that it's morning for some of you. I know that it's evening for some of you. So as we kind of go through this, I want to make sure that we get to know each other. Okay. Okay. Perfect. I see people jumping in. Amazing. Name, where you are calling from, favorite dessert. Okay. That's all I need to know. Amazing. So we're just getting set up here. I'm currently in Paris, France. My name is Toby. We're going to get to know each other today. And my favorite dessert right now is tiramisu. That is my favorite dessert right now. Okay. So if you're just joining, name, favorite dessert, okay, and where you're located. Incredible. So we're getting everybody set up here. And we are going to kick this off in just a couple of seconds here. I'm seeing Tokyo, San Antonio, Boston, South Africa, way through South Africa, amazing. London, Ottawa, Atlanta. I used to live in Atlanta. DC, awesome. New York City, incredible. Okay, so we're gonna kick this off very, very shortly. If you know someone that's supposed to be here and they're not here yet, make sure you get them here. And then we are going to make sure that this all goes very, very smoothly. Okay, so I'm gonna get set up here and we are going to run. Awesome. Okay. So today we're talking through how to scale to 50K a month using LinkedIn. I'm going to walk you through some of the details here. And I'm very excited for this because everything that I've done has basically come down to this. Okay. I love helping people get to where I am faster. I have a couple students this year that have been able to outpace what it took me 3 or 4 years to do. And so we're going to break all that down on this call today. And then I also have some of my students as well who are going to be joining in just to talk through their experience, how they've been able to get through and use what I'm teaching and some of the systems to get to their own $50,000 or more in a month. And we're going to have a good time together here. Okay. I want to make sure of a couple things and we'll walk through it. But if you can't hear me, please just let us know in the chat. Okay. If you are having any trouble at all, please just let us know in the chat. And if you are just joining us, just let us know where you are and then what your favorite dessert is. And we will get started in just a few seconds here. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that you have access to everything that you need as we go through. And I'm going to make sure that you can ask questions and we'll try to answer them as we go through as well. And then at the end, you're going to get to see everybody that has come through and hear from people as well who have been able to use some of the stuff that I'm going to talk to you about. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to jump into it. And if you have any questions, please just pull us to the side and ask a question in the chat. Okay. All right. So before we get here, can you actually, if you're here, can you just type any questions you have about LinkedIn? Like, what have you used it for? What are some of the things that you're coming in here thinking? Okay, I have some questions that I think you're going to think. Okay, but if you have any questions, please put them in the chat. I'm very, very curious to hear what you're coming in here, what's on your mind. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that we get in there. Okay, so here's my screen. We're going to share this here, and we are going to go right from the top. Okay. Okay. Let's present here. Awesome. All right. So you should be able to see my screen. Okay. Amazing. So today we are going to specifically be talking about how to scale to $50,000 a month using LinkedIn. Okay. And this is one of the topics that I'm probably the most passionate about, because it's very, very hard to think it's or to use LinkedIn in the right way. This is a live webinar. My name is Toby. Hello. Okay. But basically, we're going to talk through this, and I'm going to walk you through every single step that I've used, okay, to get to this point. And I'm going to make sure that you understand how to use it for yourself as well. Okay. So if you're here, you're probably, wanting to get the most out of this. So here's what I would encourage you to do to get the most out of this session. Okay. One is, I want you to remove all distractions for the next 45 minutes. Okay. Remove all of the distractions for the next 45 minutes. Okay. And I also want you to write down anything and everything that impacts you. Okay. If it touches you and you're like, oh my God, I never thought about that, I didn't know I could use that, write it down. Okay. And then the last thing is, whatever you pick, start applying whatever you learn within the next 24 hours. There's something called the law of diminishing intent, which means that in the next 24 hours, if you do nothing, you will slowly start to lose whatever intention you had to do anything. Okay. And so these are the things that are going to help you get the most out of the session today. And if you're here, one of these thoughts has probably crossed your mind. Okay. At least one of these thoughts. One is, I've only ever used LinkedIn to look for jobs or to hire people. Okay. That is what most people use LinkedIn for. I mean, it's what LinkedIn was created to do. Okay. And that's something that a lot of people just keep using LinkedIn for. The second thing you might be thinking is, everything on LinkedIn seems so cringe. Okay. And I'm not going to, lie to you. I agree. There's so much stuff on LinkedIn that is cringy, that makes you never want to create content on LinkedIn or do anything on LinkedIn. But there's a whole other side to that I'm going to talk about today. If you're here and you already run a business, you're probably thinking, is it possible to get leads for my business from LinkedIn, right? If it's just this job platform, like, how are people building these businesses on LinkedIn? And we're going to talk about that. And if you're already trying to create on LinkedIn, you might be thinking, okay, when I post on LinkedIn, my content gets very little engagement. I get like 2 likes, nobody does anything. Okay. And I understand that. I completely feel that. And I think it's important for you to understand that there is a way for you to use LinkedIn in terms of business, and there's a way for you to use LinkedIn when it comes to engagement. Okay. And understand that there's not just like the sales navigator or anything else. Like, there are so many different ways to get the most out of LinkedIn and the platform. Okay. So very important to keep in mind as we go along. Next question you might be thinking is, I'm already on LinkedIn, but I'm not growing and I don't get enough leads. I spoke to someone this year that had over 40,000 connections or followers on LinkedIn, and they were making $0. Didn't even know that they could make money on LinkedIn. Okay. And so we're going to talk through that as well, because it is one of the great platforms online right now. And then you might also be thinking, okay, I get most of my leads through LinkedIn, but I really don't know how to scale my business. Okay. So I've talked to a lot of people doing $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month consistently, but no matter what they try, it seems like they can't grow or scale their businesses. Okay. So these are some of the thoughts that people come in with. They're all valid thoughts, and we're going to cover all of this. So here's what I'm going to help you understand today if you're here. 1, how to drive better leads and higher quantities of those leads using LinkedIn. Okay. Better leads and higher quantities. This is very important, the way I put this. You want better leads, and then you want those better leads in higher quantities. Okay. The second thing is how to create more value and collect more for the value that you provide. Again, very intentional wording. How to create more value and then collect more for the value you provide. And then the third thing that we're going to help you cover, or that you're going to learn here, is how to buy back your time and build leverage. Okay, how to buy back your time and build leverage. It is so crucial that you understand these three things if your goal is to scale to $50,000 plus a month in revenue using LinkedIn. Okay, so by the end of the session, you will understand exactly what you need to implement so that you can get more leads from LinkedIn, reach 50K per month in revenue, and then optimize your time and work less if you want. Okay, so this is my promise to you, that you will understand how to implement so you can get these three things. But first, who am I and why should you or anyone listen to me? My name is Toby. I started creating content on LinkedIn in 2020. I made a post that went viral. It got over 5,000 likes, over 400,000 impressions. And in year 1 of creating on LinkedIn, you can see I tried to start multiple times. Okay, it was super hard to get consistent. And then I became really consistent at the end of June into July, and I kept it. And I've done 1,100 and something days of just consistently posting on LinkedIn. So year 1, I got 4 million impressions on LinkedIn. And now I'm at over 200 million impressions on LinkedIn. And I've systemized my entire growth, right? So I've done more than 40 posts that have 1 million impressions, each multiple that have more than 8-9 million impressions. I have 270 posts with over 100,000 impressions, and I've added 60,000 new followers just in the past couple months. And so all of this growth has been systemized, and I've mastered that LinkedIn platform for myself and for the people that I consult with, coach with, and that I work with. Okay, so I've done more than 200 million impressions from 1,145 posts, which is an average of like 200,000 impressions. So with not a ton of effort, I've been able to drive a ton of impressions. Okay, and that has been the game changer for the business. Okay, and for the businesses that I run. So I don't run one business. We have about 3 or 4 different businesses, all funneling through my LinkedIn. And I've been able to grow from 10,000 followers in 2021 to 264,000 followers today on LinkedIn. Okay, massive growth. Again, very, very systemized. Okay, and so we've grown multiple businesses. Some of you were here when I was running my career business, which was 3 skills. Right, I built a consulting business. I've built coaching businesses. We've done agencies. We've done ghostwriting, all sorts of different businesses, all funneling through LinkedIn. And then we learned how to do it even faster. So these are businesses that were started in April and March that we've been able to scale very quickly, right? And so understanding how to do this and get to the $50,000 mark, and these are simultaneously running, right? Understanding how to do this without burning out, without running out of ideas, without a massive team. We got a team of like 3 or 4 people, right? But understanding how to maximize LinkedIn. So now I travel the world. I work my 15 to 20 hours a week. And I try to explain to people, you need to stop trying to build a business and then force constraints on that business. Once a business is moving, it's a monster. Okay. Your job should be to create constraints first and then force the business into those constraints. So for the longest time, I always said, if I left corporate, that I wanted to work less. I always said that. You can ask anyone that was with me on that journey. I want to work less when I leave corporate. And so we forced I work Tuesday to Thursday, and we make sure that we force all of the functions of the business within those 15 to 20 hours. And that has allowed us to pick the right business model, the right scaling model, the right people, and you force the constraints first, and then you build the business. And then I bought my life back at 28. And that's been really, really exciting for me because I get to spend all this time with my wife and my friends instead of, worrying about all sorts of stuff. But I will be honest, it took me years and years of figuring it out. And now I get to teach it so that my students can do it in months and in less time. Okay. So here's what you need to understand is the opportunity. You have to understand the size of the opportunity here on LinkedIn. Okay. So here's the first thing. LinkedIn has over 1 billion users, 1 billion users. That's, I think, 9 zeros, right? But it has over a billion users and 140 million people log in every day. And understand that LinkedIn is interesting because these are people that are highly, highly active and are actually looking for something. They're looking for jobs, customers, they're looking for networks, for connections, they're looking for coaching, for programs. Like the people that join LinkedIn are not looking for cat videos. They're looking to actively accelerate their businesses, their careers, their companies. And that is what makes the difference in how quality or how high the quality of the leads are. Okay. There are publications, reporters, marketers that all use LinkedIn to verify things, right? You get a lead on Instagram or through an ad that says, Johnny XX24. You have no idea who that is. But on LinkedIn, you can see the person's first name, last name, sometimes email, where they work, right? And that is what makes it so much easier to build a business and scale it. And I mean in any aspect. And I truly mean that. Any type of business, if you understand how to use LinkedIn, you will understand how to grow, okay? So LinkedIn's algorithm and editors want a certain type of content, and these are the numbers, okay? It is such a different platform than any other platform, okay? So here's something I want you to leave here with. The best leads online spend time on LinkedIn. I truly mean that. The people that have the thousands to spend, that have raised the money for their businesses, that are looking for consultants, that are looking for coaches, the best leads online spend time on LinkedIn, okay? So here's the first thing that we're going to cover. How to drive better leads and in higher quantities. Okay. So if you're still here with me, I know that we're just getting started. Just in the chat, type leads for me. Okay. Just type LEADS. I've never spelled leads out loud. LEADS. Okay. Just type leads for me. We're going to dive into this first part. Okay. And I want you to understand how to drive better leads and in higher quantities. Okay. So see, leads. And listen, your entire business completely depends on leads. Okay. And I mean, like if you're selling a high ticket, coaching program, you're doing consulting for Fortune 500 companies, doesn't matter. Your entire business will live and die on the number of leads that you get. No leads, no business. End of story. Okay. And so this is going to be the first thing that we focus on. And if you're going to start creating on LinkedIn and you're already creating on LinkedIn, you have to understand this content pyramid. And I've talked about it before, but you need to understand this because I see a lot of people start posting on LinkedIn and they're posting absolute garbage. Nobody cares about what you're posting. Okay. And you have to understand that if people don't care about what you're posting, you don't get the attention that you need. You need attention to drive traffic, and then you need leads that convert. And you need to understand the content pyramid, which is at the top what you want to say. You want to talk about leadership, You want to talk about emails. You want to talk about coaching. You want to talk about careers. You want to talk about dating. What, it doesn't matter what you want to talk about. That's what stays at the top of the pyramid. This is what drives your content. Okay, what you actually want to say. And it doesn't have to be private content. I see some people turn LinkedIn into a diary. LinkedIn is not your diary. It is not your diary. You do not need to tell me about your, 17 kids and how hard your marriage is on LinkedIn. This is not the place for it, because it is the most pretentious platform. This is where people come to look for work. Okay, so we want to focus and treat LinkedIn for what it is. It is a marketing platform. LinkedIn is a marketing platform. I'm going to say it one more time. This is not your diary. This is a marketing platform. Okay, so what you want to say is going to drive the kind of content that you produce. Then you need to tap into how people process information. There is a way, there's a method, there's a way that we read, there's a way that we process words, there's a way that we actually consume content in the most efficient way. And that matters when you are creating content on LinkedIn, right? So if you want more views, you want more views on LinkedIn, you want more followers on LinkedIn, you want more people to see your stuff, you want more leads, you have to put the content you want to say about insurance, about marketing, about your company into a format and a way that people process that information the easiest. Okay. And then you want to make sure that you are doing it in a way that LinkedIn actually wants to push. So just now, LinkedIn is starting to go after video. Before now, you posted a video on LinkedIn, it barely got any views. But now, think about it. This has been the case for as long as LinkedIn's been alive. Videos do not do that well. But now they're trying to push video. So what do they do to the algorithm? They do some magic on the back end to optimize for video. So now I have friends that went, listen, last year when I posted this exact video, it barely got any views. This year, it's at 500,000 views. Well, why is that? Is their video so much better now? Well, no. LinkedIn has decided, here's what we're going to push. Okay? So it's important for you to be able to actually understand that, what you want to say, how people process information, and what LinkedIn wants to push. And there's so many different ways. I'm going to go and share my LinkedIn and show you there's all these different ways you can create content that actually lets you process or get information into different formats that work really, really well. Okay. So here's what you need to understand about the content that you're going to be creating. You want to create content that drives leads. You want to create content that drives leads. You don't want to create content for the sake of creating content. You want to create content that drives leads to you. So what does that mean? You actually want to focus on trying to create viral content. People tell you, okay, only create content for your specific ICP and your specific niche. Only talk to them, only talk to them. And I'm like, listen, you can do that, but if you are not growing your audience, eventually it becomes an echo chamber and nobody listens to you anymore. You've already talked about this, right? So you actually want to create viral content. One of the things I give people in the program is a list of topics that the LinkedIn editor-in-chief has said they want this types of content on the platform. So you want to create content that you see something go viral, you should create your own version of it. You can repurpose it, you can repackage it, but you want to use content that is getting seen and try to create your own version. Don't copy, don't plagiarize, but create your own version of viral content on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn has been the same for years. There's content that has gone viral every year, every month for the past 3-4 years. Okay? It is a true marketing platform. And so LinkedIn chooses what it wants on the platform. You need to understand that. So when you're starting, so for those of you that are here that already have businesses, when you're starting, what you're most likely doing is driving to the bottom of the funnel. And the bottom of the funnel here is getting in front of your customer, right? Booking a call with you, maybe a course sale, maybe a consultation call, but very, very direct to the bottom of the funnel, as close to the sale as you can. Up here is the top of the funnel. This is everyone on LinkedIn all the people that are scrolling, the 140 million plus people are all here at the top of the funnel. So as you create content, right, you start to attract them into your funnel, right? But here you want to collect emails. So as you start, you're going to drive to the bottom of the funnel. Okay, hey, here's a post. If you want to, work with me, book a call. Okay. But if you're going to scale to $50,000 plus in a month, you don't want to drive just to the bottom of the funnel. You want to drive to the middle of your funnel. And in the middle of your funnel is where you educate and resource people. Please hear me. In the middle of your funnel is where you educate and resource people, right? You give them resources, you educate them, and you become the voice, the person that they go to, the thought leader, the person that equips them to do better in whatever it is that you want them to do better in, and you drive to the middle of the funnel. Now, when you're going for the middle of the funnel, for those of you that don't understand any bit of marketing, top of the funnel is where all the leads exist. Bottom of the funnel is where they pay for stuff, okay? And the middle of the funnel is where most entrepreneurs that I've worked with absolutely skip. They have no middle of funnel, or their middle of funnel is terrible. If your middle of funnel does not work, you will run out of leads. I guarantee you will run out of leads. You have to have a middle of funnel, a webinar, middle of funnel, lead magnet, middle of funnel. A LinkedIn Live is also a middle of funnel, but it's not the most optimal middle of funnel because you don't get any emails. You can't follow up. Write this down. When it comes to building business, the fruit is in the follow-up. When it comes to building business, the fruit is in the follow-up. If you cannot follow up, people don't always make decisions on the spot. If you cannot follow up, you cannot build a business. Okay? I need you to go home when you go lay on your pillow and sleep. I want you to hear my voice going, the fruit is in the follow-up. So what does that mean? Emails. Email is king. Till today, it's been the longest thing that's been created, in terms of technology. Email is king. You borrow content, okay? You borrow content. You borrow your audience, right, from LinkedIn. But once you start building your funnel, you have to understand that email is king. Okay, so very, very important. Make sure that you are collecting emails, and then as you scale, you also want to collect phone numbers so that once you're ready, you can also implement a sales system and start building from there. Okay, so email is king, very important. Okay, and then you want to turn inbound to outbound. What does that mean? As people engage with your content, you want to then turn, oh, you see me? Okay. So as people engage with your content, you want to then turn inbound into outbound. Okay. You want to turn inbound into outbound. What does that mean? As people engage with your content, you want to start reaching out to them. They've already engaged with your content. There's 3 different ways you can get to them. You can reach out to them via DMs, right? You can send a message. They've already engaged with your content. To all the people that have liked and reacted to your posts. You can also reach out to people that have commented on your post. They've gone a step further. They've liked and then they've commented on your posts. Okay. The last one is the people that like, comment, and then go visit your profile. Because some people, they don't even get to like or comment on your stuff. They actually just go straight to visit your profile, which is why your profile has to function as a landing page. It has to function as a landing page. Okay. So now you turn inbound to outbound. Now the people that are coming in via your content. Oh, you can't hear me? Hello. If you can hear me, okay, you can. Okay. So the people that are engaging with your content, engaging with your profile now become potential leads. And now you want to turn that inbound into outbound. You don't want to just cold message a bunch of people. This is how you run out of energy. Okay? This is how you run out of energy. But when they're engaging with you already, now you can actually go, right? So from there, you want to drive to the middle of the funnel, right? You create a post, the post starts doing well, you drive to the middle of the funnel. You collect emails, you drive to the middle of the funnel. It's so tempting to just try to drive to the bottom of the funnel, but if they don't give you their email and they bounce, you lose them. Angela, do you mind going off camera? Can you see me? Yeah. So if you don't want to, if you don't collect their emails, you lose them. And once you lose them, they're gone. Okay. So if 900 people land on a link and you're not collecting emails and only like 10 of them give you their email, you just lost a massive opportunity to follow up. So you want to drive to the middle of the funnel, drive to an email. That could be a webinar. It could be a lead magnet. If you're giving away, I remember our first 2,000 emails that we ever got from my email list came because I gave away my Shopify resume and 2,000 people gave me their email in exchange for that. That's something that cost me nothing to set up, just the Shopify resume. I already used the resume. I already got the job, right? So very important that you drive to the middle of the funnel. All these people now become potential leads. So remember this. Giving starts the receiving process. A lot of you are too stingy with content. You're always trying to take from your market, take from your audience. Giving starts the receiving process. You want to give more, okay? So that you can actually receive more emails and then convert more. If you want more leads, give more away. And then you screen. So not everyone that is a lead is going to become a customer. Not every lead is a customer. That doesn't make any sense, right? But if you can get a 10, 20% conversion rate, now it means if you get 1,000 leads, 100 might become customers. Your success is a mathematical equation at that point. It means that if you get 10,000 leads, you get 1,000 customers. It means even if you lose 9 out of 10 customers, you still have 1,000 customers at $50 that you can convert. If you don't want to do that size of volume, you get 100 leads. You get 10 customers, right? And this is how you start to understand your growth for your business, right? Not everyone is your ideal customer. Look for the indicators of potential success, right? So I know that there's certain types of businesses I just can't help. Even if they start creating on LinkedIn, I don't know how to help them. So you want to look for indicators of potential success in your business. Put everyone through the same process. Because if you follow the same process, now you can make your system predictable. Now you can build scripts and assets and testimonials and the process. And now you can hire a sales rep, right? Because what I've learned is it's very hard to sell for yourself. It is very hard to sell. Unless you've been trained in sales, it is very hard to sell your own thing and to sell yourself. Okay? And so you want to screen for the right customers. Okay? And then when you're building content, you niche up. And then when you're building offers, you niche down. You want to build an offer for a specific type of person, a specific group of people. Okay? But when you're creating content, because you're now pushing to the middle of the funnel, you can create content that niches up, right? Which means you can talk about leadership, you can talk about jobs, you can talk about ghosting, you can talk about pretty much anything that you see that also goes viral, right? And then push into the middle of content. And then a small percentage of those people, right, are now who you build offers for. So you build offers for business owners, you build offers for companies, you build offers for people that want to go into project management, you build offers, right? And you niche down. Okay. So that is how you drive more leads and higher quantity of leads. Okay. Now, I have some people here that have come through my program that I just want you to hear from, right? They've all done it, a little slightly different, okay? But they've all done it. They've all been able to generate revenue from LinkedIn, right? Starting from scratch and growing through it. So I want you to hear from some of them, right? How they've been able to do that. So where's Ali? Ali, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So Ali was like, patient zero for the blueprint, right? That was like from scratch, right? Nothing here. So Ali, just talk through us. You only do LinkedIn, right? Like all of your leads come from LinkedIn, right?
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about how you've been able to use LinkedIn, the system of, creating content, where you started, and then what it's led to now.
Yeah. So yeah, before working with you, I had no strategy. My strategy was like what I call throwing spaghetti at a wall, just like seeing what works. And I did all the like cringy mistakes of what you're talking about. Like I kept asking from for people to book calls with me without like giving them enough value, right? And thankfully, like I had such a good brand outside of LinkedIn, like in my corporate life. It took me a while to leave that world, so I had a good brand. So I was doing well, but every time that Toby and I would talk, Toby's like, dude, like you could be doing so much better. And I was like, Toby, help me then. Because I was a really terrible content writer, truly. Like I did not know how to write content, and I like made all the mistakes. And so I joined Founders Blueprint in July 2021 and went viral for the first time in August. And before Toby, my biggest month was around 20K. And I'll never forget, when I texted Toby and I was like, oh, I just had my first 35K month. And the reason why that happened was it wasn't like I was going viral all the time, but certain posts were going viral. And to what you were just talking about, Toby was like, put a link in the post, get emails. And I was like, but like my link isn't live yet. He was like, make a fucking Google form if you need. Sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to speak, but and so I remember just like scrambling and making a Google form for like my upcoming masterclass. And I got like 250 people from that one post. And I was like, this is literally magic. I don't know how this happens. And so that webinar became the top of my funnel. And so that became, kind of my lead magnet and the value that I was giving people in exchange for their email address. And then obviously now I have, an audience outside of LinkedIn. Obviously LinkedIn is great, but everyone tells you own your own audience. So that email thing is true. And you also get to build an audience that like is there for you 100%, right? And so you can test things with them, you can test offers with them, you can test new masterclasses with them, which is like, it's almost like this like safe environment of people that that you can do that with before taking it, live to LinkedIn.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what was your follower count back then? What is it now? And then what's been your biggest month since, because you're still only using LinkedIn?
Yes, only using LinkedIn. I think my follower count probably was around 5K. I can go back to our doc, but I think it was 5K. It's now 21. And my biggest month so far has been 70K.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Incredible. You were the catalyst for this entire thing. So
I am the reason why all of you are here.
Yeah.
Because
amazing.
Without using me as a test.
No, amazing. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you sharing your journey.
For sure.
Awesome. Okay, we're gonna keep going a bit here, and then I'm gonna get a couple more people to hop in. But we're gonna talk about how to create more value and collect more for the value that you provide, and then you're gonna hear from a couple people that have been able to do that. Okay, so a couple of things that you need to understand is a lot of people are scared of collecting money. I've just admitted this at this point, is like so many people are scared of asking for money. Understand this. You will never be able to build a successful business if you are scared of asking for money. It will never happen. Okay. You must be okay collecting for the value that you provide. You change somebody's life, you're allowed to get paid. You paid for school, you paid tuition, and they didn't even help you get a job. They just kind of left you to die, right? Like, understand that it is okay to collect value as long as you are providing more value than what you are collecting. Okay. And you just have to get over it. And you get over it by practicing it, but understand how to create more value. Okay. So on the left here is price. On the right here is customers. At the top here, there's a few customers. At the top here, the price is very high. At the bottom here, the price is low. And at the bottom, there are many customers. Okay. Here is how you create more value. At the bottom here, people just will pay $10, $50, $100 just for information, just to learn something new. People will pay $10, $50, $100, maybe even up to $500 for just information, something new that changes the trajectory of their lives, but that they have to figure out how to implement themselves. There is no assistance on that. Okay, except if you're running a community, right, for $10, $20, $30 a month, right? But really, information is down there, and there are a lot of people that will pay for that. Okay, so if you want to sell 10,000 or 1,000 $30 courses, right, you need a lot of people to be able to do that. Tons and tons of volume. In the middle here is feedback and acceleration. So down here, people are just paying for knowledge, to learn something new. In the middle here is feedback and acceleration. People are paying for something to be done with them. They're paying for feedback to learn how to do it faster, better. Okay? And so if you just change from I'm going to teach you how to build a resume to I'm going to build a resume with you over the next 4 weeks and make sure that it is good to go for any job that you want, you immediately start providing more value, which means that you can charge more, but less people will be able to afford it. Right here, $50 resume walkthrough on Gumroad, you can give it to them, right? But here, $5.99 resume build with you, right? Acceleration up here. Or you can say, I'll teach you and do it with you, resume, LinkedIn, X, Y, and Z, acceleration, which means they can do it faster because they don't need to wait, right? They can figure it out with somebody. And then up here, this is where people want it done for them. Okay, so here they do it on their own. Here you do it with them. Here you do it for them. Okay, so now it's listen, you just show up, we'll build a resume for you, we'll reach out to 100 recruiters a day for you, we'll apply to 100 jobs a day for you. And now very few people might need that, right? But because you're doing it for them, you are allowed to charge a high price. This works in terms of business as well, right? So if you're going to build an agency and you're going to run people's social media for them, all they have to do is show up. It's scripted for them. It's written down for them. There's a cameraman there, and all they're doing is showing up looking pretty. You are allowed to charge more. Up here, if you are guaranteeing a result through the implementation of a system, you are allowed to charge more because you are only going to serve a few customers, but the result is as close to guaranteed as possible because of your system. Okay? So this is how you create more value. You pick on this value ladder, okay, do I want to teach people how to do it so they do it on their own? Do I want to do it with someone, or do I want them to do it with me so that they can go faster? Or do I want to do it for them so that they get a guaranteed result? And then you can charge for the value that you're creating. Here, the people care the most about time. They don't care about the money. I've had multiple people, when we work with them or consult, build a system for them, right? When we build a system for them, they're like, listen, the money's not the issue. We just need to do this in 3 weeks instead of 4 months. Does that make sense? Time is now the number one thing for people up here. Whereas down here, the most important thing is money. They're like, listen, I have the time, right? I can take the course. I can learn how to do it on my own, right? But I don't have a ton of money, okay? So this is how you create more value. And here's what you need to understand. A lot of people get distracted trying to create value over here, offer over here, value over here, offer over here. What you want to do is focus all your energy on one offer, drive it as far as you can to 200, 500, $1 million, right? And you only expand based on demand. This is a phrase you have to take home, along with the first one I said. Only expand based on demand. If you don't want to burn out running a business, I'm telling you that this is going to change everything for you. You only expand based on demand. Okay? And it is so important that you conserve your energy as well. So here's how to stay stuck. I hear this all the time. I'm going to charge $150 because it's an hour. I'm going to charge, $60 an hour. You do not get better or scale if you are focused on charging per hour. It will not happen. Okay? Because you can't say, oh, I'm going to charge $800 per hour, right? That's what the lawyers in Beverly Hills are charging. You have to separate your value from the hour. If you call a doorsmith or a locksmith to come let you into your house because you have a very important interview and you locked your keys inside, if he's a really good locksmith and can get you into your house in 5 minutes and he charges you $250, he's not making $250 an hour. He makes $250 for the value that he provided you, which is, one, all of his experience, and then two, the fact that he's saving you time and you can get to your interview. So it's possible to create more value in an hour than what you're charging. You have to separate your price from the hour, right? Here's how to stay stuck. Keep discounting everything. Just discount to the point where people know that if they just wait a couple seconds, you'll discount it, right? It's one thing to have a pricing strategy where people know that they get a lower amount because they are going to get more value, or they can, if they make a decision faster, right, then they can get a better pricing. But if you have a $10,000 thing, but you just go, you know what, just give me $1,000 and we'll do it, you are absolutely destroying your margins. Okay. Your pricing strategy must be thought of. It must be thought of. Okay. Here's how to stay stuck. You never ask for referrals. We had one customer bring us $20,000 in referrals one month. Okay. Like you have to ask for referrals or you're going to stay stuck. It's easier to keep a customer, right, than to get a new customer. But once you have a customer, it's easier to get another customer from them. Okay. So last way to get stuck, don't offer payment plans. I saw this multiple times. People just going, well, the price is the price. People have to pay up front. Well, guys, I don't know if you're seeing what's happening in the world, but you're going to lose a lot of customers. Here's how you grow your revenue. You charge for the value you create. If you're going to help someone add $200,000 to their salary, you're allowed to charge up to $20,000 if you want. You don't have to. You can do 5,000, you can do 10,000, right? But they get to keep the 200,000. If you're going to add $200,000 in revenue to a business, you're allowed to charge $20,000, $40,000. They get to keep that money in perpetuity, right? So over the next 10 years, if they never grow past what you've helped them do, they make an extra $2 million and you made 1,000. How does that sound fair? You have to charge for the value, right? The second thing is you need to accelerate results, build systems that get people the result faster. Okay. If you want to grow revenue, you can include a guarantee. Hey, you do this with us, you follow this system, or we do this for you. Here's what we guarantee. We will get you to X amount of leads. We will get you to X amount of followers. We will get you to X amount of views, get you to X amount of revenue, get you to X amount of interviews. You can guarantee it through the system. Very important with guarantees. Guarantee what's within your control, what's within the system that you have built. Guarantee things within that. Okay. And the last thing, expand your payment options. Don't be ridiculous. Okay. Not everyone is walking around with $10,000, $20,000. Expand your payment options. Give people the option to pay with Affirm or Klarna. Give people the option to pay over 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. Spread it out. Let people actually still pay for the value without you losing your profit. It's still that valuable. Okay. So As you do that, you want to make sure that you are building better business models. So many businesses fail because of the business model. As you reduce the risk for your customer and increase the likelihood of success through your systems, the next thing you want to do is shorten the time to win. Okay? If they're very likely to be successful, but it's going to take them 2 years, and you change that to like 2 weeks, now you can start to build better business models, right? So you can do a high ticket done with you. You can build and release infrastructures for people. You can charge a lot of money for building, like people just walking into an infrastructure, right? Because they know that you just saved them months and months of time and testing, right? You can do the same with RevShare. I had someone pitch to me, hey, we'll take over all of your emails, right, for 15% of the upside we create outside of what you're doing. I mean, that could be a whole lot of money. Okay, so there's always a better business model. Please remember that as you leave. There's always a better business model, and it is your job to keep an eye out for better business models. Okay. And then the last thing is incentivize referrals with money, right? You can give people $1,000, $500, a gift card for them to bring you more people that will be a fit, right? And now your pricing, your business model all start to work together, and you're able to move forward. So just in the chat, if you're still with me, just type business model, business model. It is so important that you pick the right business model, okay? That you charge for the value that you create, okay? You can't create $1 million in value. So for example, I did the math. I went through all of my students' successes, and my students that have come out of Founders Blueprint have generated over $5 million in revenue. Over $5 million in revenue using the system. Some have gone from $0 to $40,000 in like a year. Some have done 0 to 40,000 in 40 days. But understand that you create value and you are allowed to charge for the value. Okay? So where's Jay and Angela? Are you guys here?
I'm here.
Okay, amazing. So we'll start with ladies first, Jay. You know, I hope that's okay. So Angela, talk to us about, you know, what you were doing before we started with Founders Blueprint, and then why you decided to give it a try and with LinkedIn, and what's been the results since you've been a part of it.
Yeah. So hi, everyone. To give some background, I was in my business for probably like a year and 3 months or so before joining Founders Blueprint. I had generated revenue, but super inconsistent. So like some months I would have like $5K, $3K, sometimes I had $500. So it was always like this up and down roller coaster. I'd always been on LinkedIn. I had gotten myself to about 12,000 followers on LinkedIn before I joined Founders Blueprint. So I had somewhat of a baseline, but I was similar to Ali, kind of throwing like a mix of spaghetti on the wall, as well as like analyzing every large creator on LinkedIn to try to see what are they doing? How do I copy them? But that also meant that every week I was like changing my strategy. And that's kind of what led to the bit of the yo-yo in terms of revenue, in terms of LinkedIn growth as well. And so once I joined Founders Blueprint, like the main purpose of why I did that was that I really wanted a system. I really wanted a little bit more structure into the way that I was like writing content on LinkedIn. I was one of those people who were like, it's 10 p.m. at night. I need to post today still. Let me write something right now before I go to bed just to say that I posted. Did that get a lot of engagement? Did it help my growth? Absolutely not. I was posting at 10 p.m. at night. So like that wasn't helping me, but it helped me to like grow that perseverance and that grit. And so once I joined Founders Blueprint and I just was given the blueprint, given some insights into Toby's system, I was able to just apply because I was working hard, working super duper hard, but just like not really producing the results. And so once I got the blueprint and got really good feedback on my content, got a much better understanding of like, what should I be writing about? How should I write this? What are the frameworks? As well as like on the sales side of like, okay, we need to take another look at my funnel completely. What's going on? What am I asking customers? How am I running a sales call even? Because I, to be honest, probably lost a lot of money because I had no idea how to run a good sales call. And so in going through Founders Blueprint, Toby has like a sales script. I remember in our like group coaching, I was like put on the spot to do like a mock sales call. And I was like, okay, I see so much of like what's going on now. And so now that I've finished the program, I've been able to exceed 10K. My highest month was 12,000. I had another month that was 10,000. I am now aiming to get 10K again and hopefully hitting a 20K in September is the goal. And before I would probably say these things as if like one day they will happen. Like at some point I know it will happen because I'll make sure of it. But now I'm literally like, okay, I'm hitting another 10K month this month. September, I'm aiming for 20K. And I feel very much like I know how to do it, like my content strategy, what I need to do with my funnel, how to run the sales calls, like what do I need to actually do to get to those numbers versus before it was like a pipe dream almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll pause there.
Amazing. And then how about your follower growth on LinkedIn?
Yeah. So like I said, I had 12K followers. So getting to that first 10K, like I wish I had joined the program even earlier because it probably would have happened much faster. But I clawed my way to 10K, and now I'm at 17,000, almost 18,000. Anyone wants to follow me? I'm 100 away from 18K. I'm Angela Lau on LinkedIn. But yeah, I've grown 5,000 followers in the last, what was it, like 2 months? 2 months and another week or two. So yeah, 17,000 followers right now. Amazing.
Thank you, Angela. Yeah. You've crushed it. Angela was so diligent with every single bit of the program, crushed it. Really, really loved the growth that you had. And then let's go to Jay. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So Jay, talk to us. You had like a couple highs, right? Like coming out into the program, but what were you doing before? How much, had you made on LinkedIn? And then, what's been the reach and the, engagement been like since using the blueprint? And then on the revenue side, like just throw some numbers as well, so people know.
Okay. So real talk, made no money off of LinkedIn before this program whatsoever. Didn't even think it was a possibility. I'm more so used to like people talking about YouTube and Facebook, how they make money doing things on those platforms. And when I first found Toby, I obviously looked into this information, hit him up, had some questions, was trying to figure out, how to overcome some of the obstacles I was dealing with in my business. And mind you, I work full time, and I have a business on the side, and I'm just doing multiple things. So I got a lot of energy, a lot of effort, just not really real results. And I think I hit you up in December timeframe.
Yeah.
And then I got to a point where, I was just tired of not getting the results that I wanted. I wasn't getting anywhere. Nothing was happening for me. And so I followed back up with him in March, right? I think about in March. And I just got to a pain point. So can you guys see me, hear me?
Yeah. We can still see you.
I just got to a pain point where I was just tired of the struggle. I was like, I don't know what it is that I'm doing, but I need to do something different. For those who are tired of the struggle, put a 1 in the chat. If you're tired of the struggle, definitely put a 1 in the chat, because that's what my break was. I was like, all right, look, I got to do something different if I want different results. And so I started doing. I did the program. I started doing the program, and I told Toby I wanted to. I see you, Alex. There we go, Daniel. Daniela. I told him I wanted to make roughly about $10,000 a month. And I was like, yeah, that's my goal, to make $10,000 a month. It would be awesome. I think I would be good to go with that. Just the numbers out there. Within like 3 weeks, I made well over that, close to 125,000. And that was due to a B2B opportunity. And the crazy thing is, Toby told me, and this is exactly, Toby told me, hey, you should make a post and make it like this. And I was like, okay, sure, I'm gonna do that. Listen to what he said. I took, because I said everything I did didn't work. So I did what he said, and that post went viral. I think it's at like 3.5 million impressions. And the crazy thing is that post led to other opportunities. I'm still getting opportunities from that one particular post. And you guys can look at my LinkedIn. It's nothing crazy, right? It's just more so the approach, the method that he provided and Founders Blueprint. One of the other successes I had was I decided to do like a quick course, run a quick course. And I went through the whole process, and I was one of the people he was talking about, scared of money, scared to ask people for money. And so it was hard for me to kind of come across like, how do I package this, how to put this out? And at the end of the course that I did, or at least the webinar, I asked people, what do you think this is all worth? And they were like, oh, this is easily worth like $1,500. On that course, it was already too late because I already had it in the slides. I was like, it was like $25. I was given $25 or $30. And I learned then, I was like, I just need to be better at this. But I'm extremely grateful for, the Founders Blueprint. Everything that he goes over, all the material that you get access to, helps you kind of understand. I've gotten about 5,000 extra followers in the time frame. But like I said, I am still busy from the leads that I got originally. I still got a lot of work to do, a lot of time to cover. So I'm grateful. And one biggest thing for me was not before the course, I would look at time versus money, like $50 an hour, $60 an hour, $100 an hour, whatever. That's what I'm doing the work for. Now I'm looking at it more so subjective, like I want my time back. So I want time more than anything else. And so I'm able to do some of the things I'm doing and not have to spend as much time. Because like I said, I still have a full-time job. I'm actually active duty military, right? And so if you're out there and you're saying like, look, there's no way I could do my job and this and that, stay the course, understand information, put the effort in, do exactly what he says, ask questions where you need help, try to understand and learn from your peers, and you'll get there. And then if you have any problems with like anything else, like I said, feel free to connect. There's no crazy thing. It's just more so like he's given me so much. He's given a lot of people in the group so much. And however we can give that back, we're more than happy to do so.
Amazing. Thanks so much. I appreciate you joining, Jay. Okay, let's take this to the finish here. And then I have a special guest here that's going to talk to us to wrap it up. But how to buy back your time and build leverage. This is probably my favorite topic. And, as we go through this final session or, section of it, you need to understand that this is the most important thing if you're going to actually have a good life while scaling to 50,000 plus in revenue. Okay. You have to buy back your time. You have to build leverage. Okay. And so what does that mean? One is you have to hire people better than you. And when I say hire people better than you, I don't mean you have to put people on, a salary and, pay them and get benefits and all this other stuff. You need to understand how to leverage yourself, how to get people, right? Get a VA from onlinejobs.ph that takes care of these repetitive tasks, right? Hire intentionally to cover your weaknesses. Some of you do everything. And because you do everything, you will never be able to have more time. You have to intentionally hire to cover your weaknesses. You're really good with operations. Get someone that can do sales. You're really good with sales. Get someone that can do operations, right? You're a great developer. Get someone that can get you some marketing. You're a great marketer. Get someone you have to intentionally cover your weaknesses, right? And then you need to get rid of sales as soon as possible. What I mean by that is you need to stop doing the sales as soon as possible. Okay? Because unless you are trained in sales, right? Unless you're trained in sales, it's going to be very hard for you to sell yourself. So it's something that you want to outsource. That's why we build the system, so we can outsource it as soon as possible. And instead of hiring people full time all the time, get people on a rev share, use contractors, pay them X amount of dollars, right, to produce this result, not to work this amount of hours, but to produce X amount of result every month or every week. That's how you tie value, not to hours. People don't create value, the same amount of value within the same amount of hours. You tie pay to results. Okay. And the thing that I keep in mind is everyone that I pay should be producing at least 5 times what they're getting paid minimum. Right. And what that means is not necessarily that they're in sales or anything like that. But if they take away X amount of work from me, and that means that we can then go and do this much more, that means that having this person is changing how much we can make. So we want to make sure that you don't just go around handing out money too, because this is a trap. Okay. People should be especially if you're going to scale, people should be producing more than what they're getting paid. It's just normal. That's how you run a profitable business. Okay. So when you're delegating outsourcing, you use your money to buy back your time, document any winning processes so that they can be repeated. Something else that I do is I record myself working so that someone else can just follow the same process. And then you want to delegate to people better than you in certain areas. If someone can do it 80% as good as you, outsource it, delegate it, and then manage the other 20%, right? And then every month and quarter, you want to do the analysis. What needs to be done by you? What needs to be delegated or outsourced? And then what needs to be deleted? Some of you are doing things that add 0 value, 0 leads, 0 energy, 0 revenue to you. And you need to stop doing that. You need to get good at delegating, outsourcing, right? And it takes a few tries to find people. And then you want to automate your business. Anything you do twice, automate it. Use Zapier, create shortcuts, okay? Centralize your systems, right? So some of you are using this, that. Centralize your systems, right? Get tools that can do 2-3 things so that you don't have to have 7 different things running at once. And then you optimize your processes monthly. Always keep an eye out for better tools, right? So this is like some of the things we have in Zapier. Dude, we have like 20 Zaps running, just making sure that everything's talking to everything. I don't want to do anything twice. Someone comes in, sends it to our Slack, sends it to this person, puts it in this sheet, sends it to the CRM, and you want to get good at that. This is how you buy back a lot of your time, okay? And then in terms of your growth on LinkedIn, systemize your growth. Double down on content that works by reposting, rewriting, or reformatting it. So some of the content that I've written, I did in like a cheat sheet, or I did in like a carousel. So you can rewrite, reformat, right? And then you want to get rid of content that doesn't resonate with anyone. It gets 10 likes twice, don't post it anymore, right? And then always include that link to drive traffic and collect emails. Even if it has nothing to do with it, just include a link to drive traffic and collect emails. Make your profile function as a landing page, and then optimize your entire sales funnel until it is predictable, okay? So this is how you scale to 50K plus, right? So the right price, the right team, the right business model, that is what leads to scale. You can grow, you can accelerate, but the scale of going from, one of our businesses did 6,000 in January, 100,000 by April. That's scale, right? That exponential growth only comes when you have the right price, the right team, right business model, right? Now you can really, really scale, okay? So let's hear from one more person before we wrap up. Where's Noah? What up?
He's here.
How you doing?
Good. I'd love to see let me see some fire emojis in the chat. Give me some fire. Does everybody love it?
Can they do fire emojis in here? Let's see.
Yeah,
I think they can actually.
There's a smiley face. Or we can just write fire. This has been amazing.
I got a party popper in here.
Party poppers are cool as well.
Okay, amazing.
There we go. Julio, Kanandai, Miguel, Faith, and Bolu. Ayo, love this. Perfect. Awesome. I met Toby, actually it's a year ago, August 2nd. And I had 800 followers on LinkedIn, which was basically all my former colleagues, my sisters, my cousins, etc. And I was selling an ebook for $29, if you recall. And Toby's like, "What are you doing?" So, took his course. The templates, by the way, I still use the templates today. Like today, a year later, I'm still using these templates for storytelling, for carousels. And that was my biggest gap is I didn't know how to drive an audience. I didn't know how to storytell. I had no clue even how to create an offer. I had no idea. I'm a customer success manager for everybody that doesn't know me. So I don't do sales. I don't do systems. I don't do any of that. Now, something that was incredible to me, and I think I have the record still, I believe, $40,000 in 40 days. So I'm going to say that again. I've never sold. I'm not a salesperson. I had 800 followers. And in the first 40 days of working with him, $40,000. That's not Canadian, that's USD, by the way. And for me, it was just a game changer to actually understand how to drive attention, how to find my ICP, how to get daily LinkedIn DMs for people to work with me. And I do this on top of having a full-time job, by the way. So like you can have your full-time gig and you can run this on the side. You can do this at weekends. You can do this at night. This isn't one thing that you have to quit your full-time gig and go all in. Like you can balance it. I have a daughter, I have a wife, I have hobbies. This is something that you can really work on with the systems that you put in place. And I'm still using those lessons a year later.
Incredible. And what's your follower count at now?
20,000. So 20,000 people in a year.
Incredible. Genuinely incredible. And what do you feel has been like the biggest game changer for you?
Honestly, just having your systems and you as a resources, because you've been there, you've learned all your failures. I got to stand on the shoulders of giants. So I was able to take all that knowledge, package it into my own CSM world, which is customer success manager for anybody that doesn't know. So using you as a resources, having your systems in place and just leveraging it, whether that's the carousels, whether it's the storytelling, whether that was the offers, whether that's the sales script, which I still use, by the way. Like all those systems, all those resources, I still use it, guys. It's a year later. So
Incredible.
It's having those systems in place, having that knowledge, and really having a guide to know where to go.
Yeah. Dude, you've crushed it. You instated so much faith in this system for me when you broke that record. And one day when you quit your job and become a mogul, we'll talk about what happened in the first year. Here's what you need to understand if you are ever going to build a business that goes from 0 to 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month is that it requires not just a time investment, but your energy, and you can go a little faster if you have an exact blueprint to follow. And I want to show you what that meant for me, because I was one of those people like, I'll figure it out on my own. And here's what that did for me. It took longer to get to where I wanted to be. When I started my clothing business in 2017, I tried to hack everything myself. We made $3,000. Then I got a little better. We made $6,000, but we lost 15. Okay. And then 2019, we started Three Skills, my career business. And again, we hacked it ourselves, got to $11,000. 2020, we got to $33,000. But that was the year I was like, you know what? Let me actually get a coach. Let me pay for a program, and let me actually pay for some acceleration. And I want you to see what that did for me, for my life, for my business. Here, November 4th, 2020, I remember we paid a coach and worked with her for 4 hours. And within the next year, we were at $168,000 in total revenue. The year after that, we were at $330,000 in total revenue, and I was still working full time. This was on the side. And then in 2023, we did $402,000 in total revenue. And then this year, we are well on track, probably going to exceed $750,000. I've spent $60,000 investing in myself. I spent $60,000 making sure that I can get better. But I have generated more than $1.6 million because of it. So understand that it is not about expenses and cost. It is about the return on investment. It's about sowing a seed and not getting just a seed back. it's sowing a seed and getting a tree and the fruit and everything else. Okay. So the reason why I'm saying this is because I've built an accelerator to take you from $0 to $50,000 a month, or from 10 and 20 to $50,000 a month. And it hasn't just worked for me, right? It's worked for the people that have gone through the system. It took me 18 months to build this so that someone with 200 connections on LinkedIn could come in, follow the system, and start generating revenue on LinkedIn. And someone with $10,000 a month in revenue could follow the same system and scale to $50,000. Okay. So it is an entire blueprint. My students combined are making $5 million now from LinkedIn. Okay. So it's not just, oh, I've done it. Like, I have multiple people that we've helped go from 0 to 50,000. My top student has done over $1 million with no staff, just the LinkedIn profile. So understand the power of what you're getting here, a blueprint to go from 0 to $50,000 a month, and anything in between you will have complete access to. So what does the founder's blueprint include? It includes a playbook. And in my playbook, you get access to everything: the anatomy of a great post, 18 different posting frameworks, a 40-day content launch. You don't want to think. I've mapped out with data the best 40 posts to post within the first 40 days of creating content, a LinkedIn Live audio checklist. We've generated more than $30,000 from a single LinkedIn Live audio event. Okay. You have content templates, carousel templates, Twitter screenshot, cheat sheet templates. You have my top 100 posts, people to follow, viral topics. You have all of my sales resources. So how to build an offer, how to qualify leads, an enrollment script, an enrollment deck, client agreement templates, and a bunch of other things, how to optimize your profile, workbooks, checklists, the whole thing that has helped me go from where I am to, or where I was to where I am today, has been built into this playbook. You also get the content workbook. And this is where every week by Thursday, you submit your content, and my content coaches will go in there and review your posts and make sure that they are ready for LinkedIn, right? So you're submitting your content here on the left, and we are literally reviewing your content here on the right. Okay. And it is not just one time, it is every week. If you submit your content every week and we review it every week, you even have examples from my students of posts that have done well and gone viral, so that you don't get stuck. You're going to have an exact playbook. Okay. Then you get access to my Slack community. You can see there's over 50 people in here. This is just for the people that are building businesses, right? You can see people celebrating their wins in here. You have a content review channel. And here is where everyone chats. We share the posts that are doing well, what we're learning, how much we're closing. All of that stuff is happening here. And you can see people actually essentially winning, but inspiring you to win as well. And you can stay along for the journey. Okay. And then you get access to a video curriculum. In the first 4 weeks, you see how to set up foundations for your content and your profile. Then you learn the foundations: personal posts, trending posts, your resource posts. And then you learn how to build and craft better offers. There's always a better offer, how to drive leads, how to convert those leads, and then how to scale and automate. Okay. So I've put all sorts of people through this program that have been able to get results. Aoife only had 2,000 followers when she landed a 10,000 pound speaking gig on day 14 of the program. And now she's built a speaking business from it. Noah came into the offer with 980 followers. Today, he's at 20,000 followers. He generated more than $40,000 in his first 40 days of using the blueprint, starting from 0. Okay. Jean, very similar, came into the program. Her business had already done 30,000 in a year. The year before, we worked together. She went from 29,000 to 41,000 followers within 6 weeks. And then now she's at 75,000 followers and has generated more than $100,000 using LinkedIn. She quit her job. Her first bootcamp did $20,000 in the first 2 weeks of the program. This is a blueprint. Okay. So everything you get 8 weeks of tailored coaching, your profile optimized, content reviews, 2 calls a week, one focused on content, one focused on conversion. All of my sales resources are built in here as well. And you'll have the engagement, not just from me, but from the people that you are building with. And I have a 100% guarantee. You post every weekday. You show up for every call. You submit your content weekly and you follow the blueprint. I have a 100% guarantee that you will make at least a minimum of $5,000 generated from LinkedIn, it is a guarantee, because every single person that we have helped get to the $5,000 mark has done these 4 things. They followed the blueprint, they built the offers, they post every day, they show up for every call. There are so many opportunities on LinkedIn, and you just need to understand how to execute on them. That's it. Okay. And I'm going to give you that blueprint. You're going to have the accountability of a cohort and a group that's going to be helping you execute. Okay. And you can start as soon as you want. Every Monday, we let people into the program. You come in as part of a group, and then you're able to just execute. Okay. And I will back my system 100%, because it's not just built on me, it's built on the data of not just me generating over $1 million, but then helping another 20 something, 30 something people generate more than $5 million on LinkedIn. Right. And so this entire system is built on the data. Okay. People going from $0 to $1 million, $0 to $500,000 in revenue. We've done it over and over and over and over again, but it also means we can't work with everybody. My job is to find the right people for the system that we've built, and then make them as successful as I can, in the sense that I will be responsible for your education, but you will be responsible for your execution. Everything you need will be in the blueprint. So everything you get, the sales funnel strategies, video modules, checklists, workbook, playbook, the coaching calls, the content reviews, the access to the community, the 40-day masterclass, the 40-day content launch template, the masterclass template, sales script, all of this stuff is going to be built in for you to get access to and make the most of as well. Okay, so here's all you need to do. You need to click the button that is somewhere on the screen. I think it's up here, and apply to the program. Obviously, we don't accept everyone. That's not the goal, is to accept everyone. The goal is to look for the people that have the high agency, that have the motivation, that have the work ethic to build a $50,000 business, and that want to execute on a plan that has worked for hundreds of people. Okay, so we'll talk soon. Thanks for coming. See you soon.